Okay, so good evening to everyone. So today we are from Group 6 are going to discuss about Toyota recall crisis and organizational behavior analysis. So we are going to discuss about Toyota issues about their organizational behavior. So we go next. So this is the overview of our discussions. We are going to discuss the interactions, and then there are four questions, which is question A, question B, question C, and question D. And also we will discuss the key lessons, what we have learned about the case, and the conclusion to conclude all the cases and the key lessons. Okay, next I will start about the introduction first. This is the background of Toyota and the context we are going to go through for our discussions. Okay, so the first one is Toyota is globally admired for its lean production system and strong quality management philosophy, often used as a benchmark by other organizations. Despite this strong reputation, the recall of nearly 9 million vehicles reveal serious weaknesses within Toyota's internal system. And the crisis cannot be explained purely as a technical or mechanical failure involving the car components. Instead, it reflects deeper organizational and human behavior problems related to the decision making and also the Toyota management practices. So this is the Toyota background, also the cases that Toyota have. So next, I'm going to introduction also, but this is the organizational behavior perspective. So based on the Toyota cases issues, so the first one is safety issues were known internally by managers and employees, but they were not acted upon promptly and transparently. And leadership decisions, reward system, and also organizational culture are strongly shape how employees respond to these issues. Fear of blame, saving face, and pressure to support rapid growth discourage employees from speaking up. So these are the issues what Toyota having right now, which is the employees are scared to open up their issues, open up their opinions. And overall, the crisis represent a systemic organizational failure rather than isolated individual mistakes. So next, I will pass to the Fatima.
Okay, so to start off with the first question, Toyota's leadership failed to act promptly on known safety issues, partly due to a culture of saving face and prioritizing growth over transparency. If you were designing Toyota's future leadership development program, what specific competencies and leadership behaviors would you prioritize to prevent a repeat on such systematic failures? Next slide, please. Okay, so here are my answers. Toyota's leadership prioritized growth, cost efficiency, and protecting the organizational image over their customer safety. This is because of their saving face culture, which essentially means to hide humiliation or to make no mistake in front of the public. Therefore, leaders must actively create a psychologically safe place for their employees to feel comfortable raising their concerns. Employees should feel safe to report their problems without any fear of punishment, embarrassment, or facing any damage to their careers. Leaders should be encouraged transparency, open dialogue, and honest discussion of both negative and positive information with their employees. These leadership behaviors can help to silence delay and the escalation of turning small issues into major crises. Does everyone agree with my answer?
Yes, I agree with
Yes,
your
agree.
answer.
I agree with what Fatima said. But saving face is still important for maintaining trust and stability. How can an organization protect their image without compromising safety and opponents?
I see your concern, but organizations can still protect their image by being honest and acting early when making mistakes in public. Open communication and talking and taking responsibilities for their safety issues can build trust rather than destroy trust. Saving face does not always have to come at the cost of their safety or their openness. I would like to pass this on to Ayumi.
Question B. Toyota was globally admired for its strong production strategy and quality, yet excessive cost-cutting and growth pressures created blind spots that contributed to the recall crisis. How should Toyota balance its cost leadership strategy with its brand promise of safety and quality in order to regain long-term competitiveness? Its answer is cost efficiency to support, not outweigh also safety and quality priorities within the organization. Safety-related investments should be viewed as long-term strategic assets rather than unnecessary costs. Quality and safety metrics must be clearly integrated into managerial performance evaluation systems, and sustainable competitiveness requires ethical, responsive, and forward-looking decision-making.
Okay. Okay. I agree for your answer for question B, Ayumi. And because like we need a balance in an organizational because that is what the success lead us. Because as Toyota focus on cost efficiency and lean operation should always be balanced with safety and also quality. Because when cost targets and growth pressure become the main priority, employees may ignore the risk or delay reporting problems because the company did not pay attention to the employees. So that's why we need a balance in the company so that we can get a fair enough situations. And also, if they are going to ignore the risk and delay reporting problems, this can harm the customer trust and also weaken the brand reputation, which is will weaken the image of Toyota and negatively affect Toyota's long-term sustainability and the competitive positions. So that's my opinion for answering your question B. I will pass to Izatul.
Okay, thank you, Azizi. For the question C, Toyota reward system heavily incentive cost containment and error-free results, which discourage employees from reporting problems. If you were redesigning Toyota motivation and reward system, what mix of intrinsic and extrinsic motivators would you propose to ensure employees feel both safe and encouraged to report issues? Next slide. For question C, the core issues is that Toyota reward system was too heavily focused on cost containment, efficiency, and error-free performance, which unintentionally discourage employees from reporting safety issues. If I were redesigning Toyota motivation and reward system, I would propose balancing mix of extrinsic and intrinsic motivators. First, on the extrinsic side, Toyota should introduce clear rewards for reporting safety issues and escalating risk at an early stage. This could include recognition, performance credit, or even career advancement consideration. Importantly, ethical behavior or responsiveness to negative information should be formally recognized and reward, not penalized. Second, Toyota must address their fear factor. Previously, many employees were afraid of blame, put punishment, or negative impact on their career progression. To solve this, the organization should shift from a blame-oriented culture to a learning-oriented culture, where reporting problem is seen as a contribution rather than a failure. On the intrinsic motivation side, Toyota should strengthen employees' sense of meaningful work, responsibility, and psychological safety. When employees feel trusted and believe their input generally improve their product quality and customer safety, they are more likely to speak up voluntarily. Overall, by balancing extrinsic rewards with intrinsic motivation, Toyota can create an environment where employees feel safe, valued, and encouraged to report issues, which ultimately reports long-term quality, safety, and organizational learning. So, everyone agree with my answer?
Yes, agree.
Yes, we agree.
Yes, I agree with that point. I think when the reward focus too much on cost and being error-free, employee becomes scared to report issues. So rewarding early reporting and ethical behavior makes sense. If employee feel safe and supported, they are more likely to speak up and help prevent bigger problems.
So we will
Okay, thank
go.
you. Next, I will pass to the next presenter, Danish.
Alright, for question D, the case suggests that Toyota's culture discourage wisdom blowing and constructive confrontation, rewarding conformity instead. What kind of employee personal life and attitude would thrive or struggle in such an environment? And how should Toyota adjust its hiring and training processes to create a healthier workplace culture? Next slide, please. So, Toyota's company culture had three main values, which is fitting in, keeping the peace, and avoiding embarrassment. Fitting in means everyone tries to act the same way. Keeping the peace means no one to argue or disagree. Avoiding embarrassment means you don't point out mistake in a way that makes someone look bad. In this kind work of environment, who did well? Employees who were quiet, follow all the rules and never took risks. They did not make wave. They did not challenge their boss because they kept things calm and smooth. They were often promoted and rewarded. But what about other kind of employees? People who were proactive, outspoken, or very ethical had much harder time. A proactive person who tried to improve a system might be seen as a troublemaker. An outspoken person who warned about a safety problem might be told they are causing conflict. Someone with strong ethic who report a mistake might be told they are embarrassing the team. Their voices were not heard. Their warning were ignored. This create a big problem, which is will lead to a culture mismatch. The company culture rewarded one type of person and pushed away another type of person. So, what is the solution? How can Toyota build a healthier culture? It needs to start at the very beginning with hiring and training. Next slide, please. So, first, first thing first, Toyota must start hiring differently. They need to look for and recruit people who show strong ethical judgment, openness, and clear willingness to speak up. They can use behavioral interviews and scenario questions to see how candidate would handle an ethical dilemma. Second, they must change their training for everyone, from leaders to new employees. Training should focus on ethical decision making and creating psychological safety. That's the feeling that it's okay to speak up without fear. Most important, everyone must be trained to recognize the early sign of groupthink and risk so they can actively avoid making poor decisions as a team. This mismatch in the old culture led to a dangerous thing called groupthink. Groupthink is when everyone in a group agrees too quickly because they don't want to argue. No one asks the hard question. No one's also say, wait, is this a really good idea? They just go along with the plan to keep the peace. And what is the final result of all this? Which is will lead to poor decision making. When company only listen to yes people and ignores the people who see problem, it makes bad choice, mistake get missed, small problem grow into big crisis. So, in short, Toyota's all culture of fitting in and keeping the peace accidentally create a system good where good idea was silenced. This led to groupthink and serious mistake. The way forward is to hire for ethic and courage and train everyone to speak up and think critically. So is everyone agree with my answer?
Yes, I agree with your answer.
Yes, I completely agree with your answer. In my opinion, Toyota's old culture was initially a recipe for disaster because if they only rewarded the people who agreed with them, they didn't just miss out on good and new ideas, they also punished the ones who could have prevented making the mistakes. It is clear that the real challenge starts with who you are hiring. If you only hire people who fit in and agree with you, you'll only bring more of the same employees causing the same problems. Bringing in employees who are ethical and brave enough to make a new point and speak up about it is the only way to actually break the cycle of thinking as a group. Without that change, the more costly mistakes will always happen again and again, and the company's culture shouldn't silence its conscience.
Thank you. So I will pass back to Azizi.
Okay, thank you everyone. So we have gone through, we have go through the 4 questions. So what are the lessons that we can take from the Toyota case? So the first one is organizational failures are often behavioral in nature rather than purely technical or mechanical. And leadership behavior, organizational culture, and reward system are also strongly influence employees to take actions because like we all know employees are very hardworking, they are paid to work. So reward system also give them an an improvement to do their job better. And the third one is silence, conformity, and fear significantly increase the organizational risks. That's why we can also be the transparency because silence are not gonna solve anything. That's why we need to try to encourage people, encourage the employees to speak up if they have any decision in their mind. So not to silence it because it will lead to increase the organizational risks. And the last one, HR practices must consistently support the transparency, accountability, and continuous learning to create a healthier workplace culture. As I mentioned before, to support the transparency, because we also welcome people to open up with their decision. This also lead to positive vibe, which is their healthier workplace culture. That is the lesson that we can take from the Toyota cases in the future. So next, to wrap up our discussion, this is our conclusions that we can conclude from what we have gone through. So the first one is Toyota recall crisis result from systemic failures in organizational behavior and management their practices. Strong leadership and well-designed HR systems can help to prevent similar crises in the future. Aligning with the strategy, healthier workplace culture, and also motivation is critical for long-term organizational success. Organizational behavior also plays a central role in ensuring sustainability, trust, and performance through their employees and also their customers. So that's all from our discussions. Thank you for all.